in hell, on earth, and in heaven. Now I apologize for my really sometimes helpless way of trying to explain that. This book of light was dictated to me. I didn't really want it, but I was interested, and it was dictated to me by the Mahachohan, mentally. Handwritten. You can download it at no expense on allreligionsunited.com. And here you hear the essence of this teaching, also detailed, to enable you to walk that path to God, on which you already are, with as little pain as possible. Now, is there a personal God? Yes, there is. There are tons of personal gods. Those are beings in manifestation, and we will come to that. But they have nothing to do with the true source. So, a personal God, changeless, infinite, and so forth, does per se not exist. If you want to apply the term God or the term immortal or eternal to God, then you are on the right way. But we have to decide before we go on, and we are now in our teaching on the path to God. Now, what I reveal, and we go back in time, 150 trillion years ago, approximately, when the universe reawakened again. What is God? The universe reawakened out of the ever-to-be unknown, I leave that by now, this term here, into manifestation. When we say God is eternal and immortal, we agree. But first of all, let us define what is eternal, what is immortal. If you say eternal is something that has a beginning and no end, this is not our teaching. This is not our teaching. What has a beginning must have an end. Or what arises must pass away. Do you know an exception? I don't. Let's always keep with common sense. Let's stick in this physical world. Do you see something that has a beginning and no end? I don't. And yet we say, dear friends, and now please listen, dear Lanoos, you see, I'm Lanoo, I'm a student of the Book of Light. It was dictated to me. When we say eternal, then we say God, root matter, and all beings are timeless, eternal, uncreated. By eternal, I mean something that has no beginning and no ending. And we must ponder a little bit about that first moment when the universe reawakens out of the ever-to-be unknown, out from God, into manifestation. We must first, right now, clearly set the definition of what religion says about God. We say about everything, even matter, is timeless, eternal, uncreated. Then why does it dissolve, disappear? It doesn't. It just changes form. So when my body decays, or when you see something decay, it falls apart. That structure. But it reunites with another structure, with another essence. I compare that to the surface of a lake, quiet. Now you throw a stone in it. There are waves. Do they always remain? I don't think so. Where is the tendency of that, comparing now it to root matter of the universe, this surface of a lake? Where is the tendency to harmony? Again, to a surface, equal surface of the lake. So the tendency of matter is always to change its form back to the harmony of the essence. And this is why we say God, all beings, and matter are timeless, eternal, but changing in form, according to desire. And we will see what that means when the universe reawakens. All beings, when the time comes, and when they fall again, where to? Into metta, into the veil of Mula Prakriti, into that which is timeless, eternal, but changeable and changing in form, not in substance. Who may fathom it, may fathom it. Dear friends, this is just for a few now. But in you will open up parts of the understanding of the etheric brain and of all the other husks or sheaths that are around the true being. There may be 7 or 10 or 12, whatever. And this teaching goes very deep, and it will open up in you Kundalini, centers of energy, and so forth. So I urge you, when you listen to my words, don't drink any alcohol. Be clear, be sober, be neutral, be like the surface of that lake I was describing to you. This essence of everything is there, without beginning and without end, because it has no beginning and no end. We experience just by diving into root matter, clinging to that substance, causing the forms according to our desire. We experience the change of that with which we identify and which will be taken away from us, life after life. And that change we experience as time. But in truth, we just experience, by attachment, the change of a timeless, eternal substance. 3 are timeless, eternal, immortal. And we only can call him that, immortal, when we agree to say immortality means something that was never born and that shall never die. But it manifests periodically. And when it surrounds itself with changing matter, to the essence that it is attached to it, it will experience painfully time. Painfully to the essence or to the extent of attachment. So everything exists always and manifests periodically. And when we ask, what is God? We should always know, and we repeat that here over and over again, that God must be experienced by yourself, and then you know that you are God, or a God in the making. Once you detach from the desires of your body, of your senses, you can experience that already in meditation, you will automatically be that from where you came. You will be that God. And this is, if you wish so, the purpose of life, the purpose of being. You can then return into manifestation, or you remain in nirvana. There's another term. So, unfortunately misunderstood, especially by this Mr. Lama, Dalai Lama, who says in nirvana you are destroyed. Mr. Lama, in nirvana you are free from desire. You should write that in your teachings instead of having those tantric lessons who just bring suffering and pain upon the student. More I don't want to say about that here. But we will come to that. The Book of Light teaches there is no creator, but there are creative powers which collectively are the entire universe, and yet in truth one being, Adam Kadmon. We live on the atoms and molecules of this being. If you would enlarge an atom, the core of an atom to the size of the earth, the next particle would be where the moon is, approximately. And in the same way that we live on the atoms and molecules and particles of Adam Kadmon, that one being in manifestation, in the same way on our atoms and molecules are beings living who maybe are praying to us as God, misunderstanding that we are not, for them to a certain extent. Largeness, or let's say big or small, are relative terms. If you would diminish the entire universe on the point of a needle, you would still have the feeling of same distance, because everything would be smaller. So those terms are relative. I said there is no creator, yet we unite all religions. We unite creationists and evolutionists by saying, yes, there is creation. When all beings are in manifestation, surrounding themselves with matter, causing the forms, they are sort of creators. And the higher provide the lower with essence, with bodies. And there is an evolutionary process too. By constantly diving into matter over and over again, experiencing karma and reincarnation. So every planet is the result of karma, of its guiding power. Just this little hint for now. We can say that there is an expansion of divine essence from inward, from within, without. This same process, at the reawakening of the universe about 150 trillion years ago, appears as above so below in every embryo, in every human being that is born, for example. The embryo develops from inside outside. We will come in detail to that. You see, by walking the path to God, it helps to know the different steps that we already have overcome or done when we left the source 150 trillion years ago.